All right, to this a suggestion via a channel member. Let's jump into it. Let's see where this takes us, guys.
Okay, so this is happening in court now, folks. That is Tyler Robinson appearing via video link. Let's listen in.
Very well.
And I thank you for being here. So, Mr. Robinson, you have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the court can appoint an attorney to represent you. I have reviewed your declaration of financial status and find that you are indigent. I'm provisionally
his family cut him off
appointing a
completely.
Rule 8 qualified attorney to represent you on your case, Mr. Robinson. Along with the filing of their appearance of counsel, the assigned attorneys must file declarations with the court that outline their qualifications under Rule 8 and Rule 8C, under Rule 8B and Rule 8C for counsel appointment in a case where death may be a sentencing option. I'm ordering that those declarations be filed prior to the next hearing date, which is set for September 29th at 10 a.m. Mr. Robinson, I also wish to inform you of your right against self-incrimination. Anything that you say in court today could be used against you, and we want to protect your constitutional rights.
Isn't that a coincidence, guys?
Mr. Robinson, at this time, you will remain in custody without bail. Mr. Skordas, is there any other
there's
points
no bail
that you
for him.
wish to address?
Period.
No, thank you very much, Your Honor.
Turning to the state.
Yes, Your Honor. Chad Grunander for the state. I'm also joined, and they're listed as attendees, Ryan McBride, Lauren Hunt, David Sturgill, and Chris Ballard. We are the trial team on this case.
Okay.
I do have...
Yeah, I figured at the bottom it says they're seeking the ending penalty. Let's just call it that there, guys. Yeah, that makes all the sense in the world based off of how big this has been, the amount of people that are absolutely pissed off, the fact that the president's speaking about it, the vice president is speaking about it. There are so many people with means and power, let's say. You're that's it. You ended your life. You basically forfeited your life when you decided to do this here, guys.
A few points.
And I'm definitely glad we moved from the concept of suspect, person of interest to officially being charged.
I'd like to bring up with Your Honor, we have filed a pretrial protective order on behalf of Erica Kirk. We would ask the court to review that. It should be in your queue, Your Honor, and sign that.
Thank you. I have reviewed the pretrial protective order and will be issuing this pretrial protective order in favor of Erica Kirk.
Right.
Is there any other business that we need to address today, counsel?
Just for the court's information, we did file just recently, within the last few minutes, a notice of intent to seek the death penalty that was filed by Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray. So that should be in the court's file.
Look at his face.
Lastly, I would just indicate
Look at his body language
to the court and to, at this point, Mr. Robinson, that we are prepared to collect all of the discovery in this matter and get that turned over to the defense as soon as possible. Rule 16 requires us to provide what we have relied on in charging the information and bringing these charges within 5 days once it's requested. So that'll be prepared to disseminate to the defense as soon as possible.
Is he trying to maintain his innocence or something, guys?
Mr. Robinson, what I also want to do is you have the right to have the charges read that you stand charged of, and I wish to read those to you at this time. Thank you.
First degree. No doubt.
Mr. Robinson, for count 1, aggravated murder, a capital felony in violation of Utah Code annotated 76-5-202, in that on September 10th, 2025 in Utah County, the defendant, Tyler James Robinson, intentionally or knowingly caused the death of Charlie Kirk under the following circumstances. The defendant knowingly created a great risk of death to another individual other than Charlie Kirk and the defendant. Notice conviction of this offense may carry the death penalty or pursuant to Utah Code 76.
He just swallowed really hard.
3-207.7, a mandatory term of imprisonment for life without parole or an indeterminate term of not less than 25 years that may be for life. victim targeting enhancement in violation of Utah Code Annotated 76-3-203.14 sub 2. Tyler James Robinson intentionally selected Charlie Kirk because of Tyler James Robinson's belief or perception regarding Charlie Kirk's political expression. Notice, if the trier of fact finds beyond a reasonable doubt that the victim targeting enhancement applies, the sentencing judge or the Board of Pardons and Parole shall consider the defendant's selection of the victim as an aggravating factor. Violent offense committed in the presence of a child aggravating factor, the sentencing judge or the Board of Pardons and Parole shall consider as an aggravating factor in their deliberations that the defendant committed a violent criminal offense in the presence of a child.
There's definitely a lot of rapid eye movement here, guys.
Count 2, felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury, a first-degree felony, in violation of Utah Code Annotated 76-11-210 sub 2 and 3C, in that on September 10th, 2025 in Utah County, the defendant Tyler James Robinson discharged a firearm in the direction of Charlie Kirk, knowing or having reason to believe that Charlie Kirk may be endangered by the discharge of the firearm and that the act caused serious bodily injury to Charlie Kirk. Victim targeting enhancement in violation of Utah Code Annotated 76-3-203.14 sub 2. Tyler James Robinson intentionally selected Charlie Kirk because Tyler James Robinson's belief or perception regarding Charlie Kirk's political expression. Notice, if the trier of fact finds beyond a reasonable doubt that the victim targeting enhancement applies, the sentencing judge or the Board of Pardons and Parole shall consider the defendant's selection of the victim as an aggravating factor. Violent offense committed in the presence of a child, aggravating factor.
Multiple
The
children.
sentencing judge or the Board of Pardons and Parole shall consider an aggravating factor in their deliberations that the defendant committed a violent offense in the presence of a child. Count 3, obstruction of justice.
Basically, what I just heard him say here is that, listen, you're never getting out of jail. All right, so even if you are not put to sleep immediately, let's say, then in fact, you will stay in jail for the rest of your life. Right? And parole board is going to say, nah, bro, we can't let you out.
A second-degree felony in violation of Utah Code Annotated 76-8-306 sub 2, in that on September 10th, 2025 in Utah County, the defendant Tyler James Robinson, with intent to hinder, delay, or prevent the investigation, apprehension, prosecution, conviction, or pursuant to any person regarding conduct that constitutes a criminal offense, conceal or remove the firearm used to shoot Charlie Kirk, and the conduct that constitutes an offense would be a capital felony or a first-degree felony.
Yeah, that makes all the sense in the world, but I do suspect that that's probably something that's used as an enhancement on everything, because generally when someone is there to commit some type of absolute atrocity, they don't stand there with everything that they just used to commit the atrocity, right? So I think that's probably a freebie right there. They're just throwing that at him. 4,
obstruction of justice, a second-degree felony in violation of Utah Code 76-8-306.
That's for running.
Sub 2.
Probably.
In that on or about September 11th, 2025 in Utah County, the defendant, Tyler James Robinson, with an intent to hinder, delay, or prevent the investigation, apprehension, prosecution, conviction,
or
punishment of any person regarding conduct that constitutes a criminal offense, destroyed, concealed, or removed the clothing he wore during the shooting, and the conduct that constitutes an offense would be a capital felony or first-degree felony. Count 5, tampering with a witness, a third-degree felony in violation of Utah Code Annotated 76-8-508, in that on or about September 10th, 2025 in Utah County, the defendant, Tyler James Robinson, believed that an official proceeding or investigation was pending or about to be instituted, or intended to prevent an official proceeding or investigation, and attempted to induce or otherwise cause his roommate to withhold testimony, information, a document, or an item to wit, directing his roommate to delete incriminating text messages. Count 6, tampering with a witness, a third-degree felony in violation of Utah Code Annotated 76-8-508, in that on or about September 11th, 2025 in Utah County, the defendant, Tyler James Robinson, believed that an official proceeding or investigation was pending or about to be instituted, or intended to prevent an official proceeding or investigation, and attempted to induce or otherwise cause his roommate to withhold testimony or information, to wit, directing his roommate to stay silent if the police questioned the roommate. Count 7, violent offense committed in the presence of a child, a Class A misdemeanor in violation of Utah Code Annotated 76-3-203.10 sub 2 and 76-3-203.14 sub 3a little double I, in that on or about September 10th, 2025 in Utah County, the defendant, Tyler James Robinson, committed criminal homicide in the physical presence of a child younger than 14 years of age, with knowledge that a child was present and that may have been seen or heard the commission of the criminal homicide. Victim targeting enhancement in violation of Utah Code Annotated 76-3-203.14 sub 2, Tyler James Robinson intentionally selected Charlie Kirk because of Tyler James Robinson's belief or perception regarding Charlie Kirk's political expression.
Right.
That concludes reading the information.
Jeez, bro.
Mr. Robinson, this case is set for September 29th at
They're
10
fast
a.m.
tracking this.
It will be a waiver hearing, and I will be the judge assigned to this case. Mr. Robinson, I invite you to join us at that time. Is there anything further, counsel?
No, Your Honor, we'll have
I
counsel
invite you to
appointed
join
by
us?
then. Thank you.
Mr. Grander, anything further?
One item, just for clarification, Your Honor, the hearing on the 29th, is that in person or WebEx?
Thank you. That is a great question. It will be via WebEx.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Yeah, I think that's probably safer, if you understand what I mean here, guys, right? Like specifically, if you would like for this guy here to actually make it to trial, yeah, the smartest thing to do is leave him in the jail. Because if you take him out of the jail, the amount of like vitriol that is basically being felt kind of around the United States of America and the world, this would guys, I'm not sure we have enough security. And unfortunately, we will have to protect this man, right? Because regardless of how he did not care about Charlie Kirk's constitutional rights by ending his existence due to his First Amendment, he is still he's still being treated as if he's completely, everything is okay. Let's just say this here, guys, right? So they're still protecting his constitutional rights here. And definitely, if you put this man in public outside of jail and put him into a courtroom, truth be told here, based off of how a lot of people feel right now, I'm not sure that's conducive. Let's just say this here. Now, in terms of like all of the charges that were basically levied upon him, they're making an example out of him. I respect it. I think he needs to be made an example of, because listen, we cannot allow this type of nonsense to, continue, let's say, in the United States of America. Okay, we can't allow this here. Someone you don't like what someone is saying, so you end his existence. That's crazy, right? Let's not make that an example. So absolutely, what needs to happen is throw the entire jail at him, not just the book. Okay, the entire jail at him. Okay, and we'll move on, right? But listen, guys, this is nuts. He is, my opinion of how he acted here, I don't think he's even here anymore, bro. Right? He understands exactly what he did. He understands that the repercussions are going to come from exactly what he did here. What he has done meant nothing. You understand this here, guys? Right? It meant nothing to Charlie Kirk's movement. It meant nothing to Charlie Kirk's legacy. What you just did is end your existence, and most likely a couple of the people who knew that this was going to happen here, guys, right? Truth be told. The charges are completely fine here, right? They're nitpicking a little bit, but I like the fact that they're nitpicking in this case here. Normally I'd have something to say about the nitpicking, right? But I think he's such a monster that I don't really care, truth be told here. But all right, listen, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. I will definitely, in fact, be following the story. So in the meantime, I'll catch you guys later. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe, all right?